what it is. What's up? Got your in the cut. What it is. What's up? So I got your in the cut. I've been hearing a lot of sayings that I like, you know, them old videos. I just watched this girl and she said, if you got a duck that's gonna pull a truck, hook it up. And I don't know what it means, but I like it. So I'm gonna use it. Anyway, welcome y'all. Welcome back to the channel. You know, my name's Farron. And on here we talk about anesthesia and life's adventures and all the things, and we vibe. That's what we do. I don't think I posted last week. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I remember, you know, we did our 2 weeks. We did our 50 hours. What was it? 100 hours. It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks straight of us kind of working hard to get that premium check. By the way, y'all, I spent that, but we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's been a minute. So let's see. We did our 100 hours. 2 weeks, worked 100 hours. And then we went for Thanksgiving break. And Thanksgiving break was interesting. Thought it would be a little bit longer, but it felt shorter. And I wasn't as productive as I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. You know, I'm getting over that. I'm the type of person where I always feel like I gotta keep moving, and I didn't move that much. I did a lot of, like, I don't know, building my strength back up, I guess, you know. Like I said, my job is not like, I'm not dealing with like the sickest patients in the world, but it's just, I really be paying attention to what I be doing. So if I'm in an 8-hour spine, and like, if you ask like maybe like more experienced people, they'd be like, oh, you know, I be in there shopping, whatever. I don't know what they be doing. Not me. Like, I be like, if y'all don't mind, if this the monitor, I'd be like, looking over the drapes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really pay attention like the whole time. And that is, you know, it kind of drains on you mentally, because it's like, I'm always like looking for the next thing to happen or whatever. And the longer you work in anesthesia, the longer you're in the OR and stuff. Like right now, like if you're new first year, even like second year, honestly, even second year, you may not recognize certain noises in the OR, but now I'm there. So like I could be over here trying to give some drugs, or over here like putting my bear hugger on, and I'm listening, and I'm not really actively listening, but like I'm just listening in the background, and I can hear like the pulse ox going off, and I can hear when it dropped from 100 to 99. Like you'll get there. Like it took me a minute, I guess. Yeah, it took me a minute, but you'll get there. One thing that I used to could never, like, as far as like alarms going off, I used to could never figure out what it was the daggone tourniquet. Like the tourniquet, the pump, and the bear hugger. If something was beeping, like, you know, the surgeon be like, what's that noise? Like, what is that beeping? Like, can somebody figure out what that beeping is? And you know, I'm like looking at the machine, I'm trying to figure out, you know, what's going on. And it's always one of the three. It's either the daggone pump, the bear hugger, or the daggone, what's the other thing I said? Hugger, or the tourniquet machine. But now I know. Now I know. Like if I hear some loud noise, I still look at the monitor first to make sure we stable over here. Then I look at like the other things or whatever. So those are some things you eventually pick up on. I ain't gonna lie. When I be picking up on, like when I hear that like 100 to 99 on the pulse ox, I be like, girl, you do this, don't you? You out here. This your job, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, I feel like most of the time I get hit with a lot of feelings like I don't belong here. Like, oh my gosh, they gonna figure out that you really don't know nothing. And you know, like, y'all know how we get when we feel like we don't belong somewhere and we're not good enough to be where we are. Y'all know the feeling. So to have those little moments where it's just kind of like, y'all don't know what that noise is, but listen, we just went, like, it's just, I don't know. Those be like it be the little things that make me proud of myself. Like, Dad, like, you done came a long way. And it's crazy because like me and my friend, we was talking about that the other day. He was just like, Farron, like, can you believe this? Like 2 years ago, we was just like in the classroom looking like, what? What's going on? What y'all talking about? And now like we doing it. And I remember being a student and looking at the AAs, even the ones who just graduated or been here for a long time. I'd be like, dang, like I can't imagine I'd ever be there. Like, I don't know what this machine is. Like, I just remember that moment being like, girl, I don't know about this. And now to be here is just kind of like, it's amazing. Like, I don't know. It's a little bit unbelievable. I have a hard time. I'd be like, girl, this, you gotta pinch, okay, that hurt a little bit. But you gotta pinch yourself like, we really made it, you know? I thank God for that. I mean, there are a lot of things where I'm just kind of like over the break, where I was just kind of like, wow, like, when we talk about highly favored, we talk about me. We talk about me, God's favorite child, okay? I'm telling y'all something. But yeah, anyway, the break gave me a lot of time to reflect, and this video is probably gonna have like a lot of different, I got a lot of content, I guess, I don't know, whatever. And it's kind of like just me like after the break, going back to work, and you know, but I had some time to reflect on some things about like where I am versus where I want to be, who I am versus who I want to be. And like I said, I'm a person, like I have to keep moving. I have to move. Like once I settle down, I'm like, okay, you're not doing enough. Let's do the next thing. Like, you're not where I want you to be yet. And so I watched this video about like, a lot of people are doing videos right now about reinventing themselves. And I guess that makes sense because we're getting ready to be in 2024. And so I was watching those, and I don't know, like a lot of them do a lot of rebranding versus like actually reinventing yourself. Like, don't get me wrong, that's a part of it. And when I say rebranding, I kind of mean like what you look like on the outside, you know, like how you dress or whatever your makeup routine or haircut or, you know, whatever those things you do to fix the outside. Not many people hit how to revamp the inside though, you know. But I found this one girl, and she was talking about, she was kind of like giving you the 5 steps to do that. And she was saying, you know, what are the things that you would like to change and why? And like what is your why? Because if you don't have your why, one, you don't have the motivation to complete what it is that you're trying to complete or reach whatever goal that you're trying to, you know, accomplish. And that's always been the hardest part for me. Like, why? Like, why? And I never knew how to answer that. And so she kind of like said, think about it like, if you don't make this change, how might you staying the same negatively affect you? And that I could relate to. Then I was like, okay, girl, I see. Now I understand what we're talking about. So like, what changes do you want to make? And if you didn't make those changes, how is that going to negatively impact your life? So I really sat down with myself and thought about all the things that I wanted to change. And you know how we do, like you today, now that we have like social media and all that stuff, you see a lot of things and you're like, oh, I want to look like that, and I want to have this, and I want to have that, and you know, I'm 27, why I don't have like a freaking mansion, why I don't have whatever. And that's just not reality, you know. Like, I feel like we see that all the time, we're surrounded by that all the time, and we feel like that's what it should be, and that's just not reality. Like, it's just because it's there all the time don't mean everybody living that life, you know. And that doesn't necessarily mean that like the things you think you want, I realized that like I don't really want those things. I thought I wanted those things because I saw everybody else had those things, but when I really think about it, I'm like, do I want a mansion? Am I gonna have to, because who gonna clean the house? Who gonna do that? Like, you know, small space work, you know. It's just me, Austin, and Sebastian. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So there are some things that before I became an AA, before I like, you know, earned, you know, as nice of a salary as I do, there were a lot of things that I wanted. I wanted like the nicest cars, and I wanted the biggest houses, and I wanted, I don't know, all these things. And now I'm realizing that it's just kind of like, I have a roof over my head, that's good enough. Like, I mean, okay, honestly, I need more space than what I got now, but that's not the point. My point is saying that, like, you know, I'm appreciating what I have and realizing that all those extravagant things, if I had them, I don't think it would make me any happier, you know? And that's the part I want to get to. I want to get to happiness. I want to get to, I'm not stressed out all the time. And that's what I want. So when I think about my whys, I say, like, you know, for example, if I say I want to be healthier, which is one of my things. Those are one of the things that I want to change. And I ask myself, why? Well, why? Because, like, I see how my family members live who aren't as healthy, and they struggle. They can't get out of bed. Some of them can't put their own socks on. Some of them, you know, they got high daggone medical bills because they just don't take care of themselves. And I don't want to be that. Like, I don't want those struggles. I see them. I see that they're in pain. And y'all know, like, as black people or as people of color, because it's not just black people, when you do have, like, medical problems like that and you go to the doctor and all those things, the hope is that you get the same treatment as everybody else. That's always the hope. But we know that systematically we've been placed in this area where we can take pain, you know, more pain than what, you know, our counterparts can. And maybe we don't receive the same kind of, like, I don't know, health care that they do, if that makes sense. And I don't want to do that, you know? So if I say why, well, why? Because I don't want to be in pain at 27, 35 years old and my knees hurt. My knees already hurt, y'all. My knees is already giving 63, okay? Meg ain't here. I wish Meg was but Meg ain't here, okay? It ain't giving the stallion, okay? It's giving very much citizens home, okay? And I don't want that. I want to be healthy. I want my body to feel nice, you know? So that's one of my whys. I guess another thing that I want to change is kind of like that whole imposter syndrome. I don't belong here, anxiety, fear, because why? Well, it doesn't allow me to jump at opportunities because I'm scared to open those doors. And fear is not of God. So, listen, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. So, those are some of my whys. I mean, it really got me deeply thinking about some things I want to change. And this is not really like, oh, I want to set these goals for 2024. I'm not on that. I don't want to do that. This is like, I want to make these changes throughout life. Like, not like, oh, we're going to start 2024. We start right now. I think earlier, like in the video, we starting now, okay? So, yeah, like that's kind of where I am as far as like my personal life goes. And what's next for me, like that I really want to work on myself now that I'm here. It's only been like 3 months, but like I'm ready to get some other things rolling. You know, I can't be tired all the time and just go to sleep. Like I don't want to do that. So yeah, that's my personal life. As far as the anesthesia, I have really I've come a long way. Like, not to say I was bad before or anything like that. First of all, when you come out as like a new grad, you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to know everything. I don't care how great you are, you're going to hit a learning curve. And I mean, I like to think I was pretty good when I came out. Not like boosting myself up because I'm my hardest critic. I'd be like, Dag, Farron, why you messed this up? Or why you didn't think about that? But when I think about the feedback that I get from other like physicians, when I get them from physicians or other AAs, like, they hype your girl up, you know? So I'm like, okay, I went terrible, you know? But I've definitely like learned some things, and like being 3 months in, I think December 15th will make 4 months in, which is not, it doesn't seem that long, but I've noticed some changes. Like there are certain things, like I'm a little bit more confident. I used to, the first and second month, I would wake up in the morning like just anxiety driven, like, oh my gosh, like what case we got today? I gotta work with this physician and I haven't worked with him before, and what if he wants this? What if he wants that? What if he don't like the way I wake up? What if he don't like Dilaudid? What if I give something wrong? What if I like just fear, just like, ugh, you know? And sometimes I still do feel like that sometimes, like especially if I work with someone who I don't work with a lot and I don't really know them that well, I still have that waking up a little bit. But now it's just kind of like, I'll be like, all right, what we doing tomorrow? We doing spine, we doing knees, we doing what? We on general, you know? And I'm just kind of like, okay, like now in my mind, I'm like, well, you know, you need this, you know, you need that. Like, it's another day, you know? And that's saying a lot for me. That's a relief, okay? Sorry, but yeah, I just be like, I don't know, like, it's just kind of like, in certain situations, I'm really quick to be like, I don't like that. I don't know why the set not coming up. I don't know why we at 94. That patient came in 98. We at 94. We've been at 94 for like too long. And I would troubleshoot first. I always troubleshoot first. But I'm texting my attendant like, listen, go on pop in OR 19 real quick. You know, I just, I don't play around. Okay, I'm real quick to be like, get in here. Because I want to make sure that you know what's going on and I know what's going on and we on the same page and we ain't missing no steps. Okay, so I'm real quick to do that. But now, like, for example, let me tell you something. Texas, it's some big patients out here in Texas, okay? It's a big demographic, if you know what I'm saying. Like, them heads be heavy to hold up. When you go in and intubate and stuff, like, they heavy. They ain't got little petite, like, no. Some of them do, but a lot, I mean, you in the hospital for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Okay? And they be a little thick. And I'm not that strong yet, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, if you know, you know. Morbidly obese patients, when you go to wake them up, like, I'm not saying all of them because each patient is different, but I'm talking about that group where they're morbidly obese or they look like Santa Claus or they have those pear-shaped, well, not pear is not as bad, but like those apple-shaped kind of things. They don't really have no neck. They head heavy, tongue big, just makes for a difficult airway, those types of things. And they have OSA or they have COPD or something like that. So those can be like, they can be your more difficult patients to wake up. And not every wake up is going to be smooth. Like, it just depends on the patient. But there are certain cases where you kind of like really, really want them to be smooth. Like when you're doing like ENT cases and, you know, they have all that blood, like kind of like near the airway down the throat because they were doing some work like in the nose or wherever they were doing it. And, you know, you suction them out real well, but you kind of want to be gentle because they just had surgery, right? Or hernias. Santa Claus, apple, pear, whatever, those bigger patients, and like let's say you do like a hernia repair and they go laparoscopic. That's not the problem. The problem is, you know, after they repair the hernia and they put that mesh on there, when you go and try to wake these patients up, a lot of them are belly breathers. So that means, like, you know, when they inhale and exhale, their stomach blows up and it comes back down and it blows up violently, right? That's not something you want to have when you're doing a hernia repair. And so those can be some challenging kind of wake ups. You know, you need to get you some propofol on, you know, maybe some Presidex, anything that's going to kind of like smooth it out. But sometimes it's just unavoidable. And so I used to kind of like, you know, I mean, I used to throw everything at them to make it smooth. But they tend to like, sometimes they cough. And they do a lot of breath holding. And I mean breath holding to the point where it's just like, okay, sats dropping, okay? Because, you know, they're becoming lighter. They want to breathe on their own, but maybe they got like a little narcotic left on. Not enough where you need like Narcan or anything like that, but just enough to where it's just kind of like, or maybe they don't have enough on. You know, maybe it's the pain and they just can't, you know, whatever it may be. But anyway, they holding their breath. Your sat done dropped to like 90 and you trying to work it up. And I remember panicking. Like, I remember like when that used to happen and I never stopped moving. Like, I kept moving because that's what they teach you to do. Like, even if you don't know what to do, like go back to the basics, whatever. And so now though, I recognize that like, I'm prepared for this. You know, and if I'm feeling extra, like if the patient had a difficult airway at the beginning, they gave me a really, really hard time and they're like, you know, they're big and I feel like they're going to be a hard wake up, I'll go ahead and call the attendants in the room. I'll say, hey, you know, we're fine now, but I just want you to be in the room, like just in case I need extra hands or anything like that. Okay. But now I don't panic. Like, I mean, I've been in several situations where like, you know, maybe they're waking up and they still have the tube in. Like, let's say I keep that in, but their stats are just, let's just say stats are just dropping, like, 90, 88, 85, 80, 78. And now I'm just like, I don't panic. Like, I do the things that I know to do. I know sometimes it's the tube stimulating them. So I say, okay, Farron, if you pull the tube, are you going to be prepared for if they have a laryngeal spasm? Like, this is your airway access. Like, are you prepared to do that? And if I say, well, yeah, like I can two-hand bag mask them. I can get them going. Now I've learned so many techniques for, like, when I do have those big patients, like, I don't really get scared anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, okay, cool, let's do it. Whatever. Like, I think it's important being, like, calm in that situation under pressure, because you're the only person in the room that knows what's going on and maybe knows how to fix it. So if everybody else sees you panicking and you in charge of the airway, everybody's gonna panic, okay? And you don't want that. That's just chaotic. So, like, I've had people say, like, wow, like, you stay calm the whole time. Or they'll be like, hey, do you want me to call such and such? And I'll be like, no, it's okay. Like, set might be at like 80. I'll be like, no, it's okay. We're coming up. Like, it's fine. Like, I've got it. We're good. And then, they come up because I'm prepared. I know what I'm doing. I'm calm. And that's a blessing for me. Like, that, like, I'm proud of myself for that. Like, I've learned a lot of techniques. I still call my attendant when I need them. And when I don't need them, I call them. I ain't playing with y'all. If I feel like y'all gonna be difficult, baby, we calling the doctor. I'm not about to do it with y'all. But yeah, like, I'm feeling better about my skills. There are some things, like, one of the things that I said I wanted to change was, like, I want to go back and, like, kind of go through blasting the boards just to kind of keep everything fresh in my mind, like with the meds and everything like that. Because sometimes, like, there still be medicines that, like, the surgeon might ask for that we just don't use a lot. So maybe, like, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I haven't used that in a while, or, or maybe I haven't heard of it before. Best believe before I give it, I'm on Vargo, I'm on whatever app I need to be on, be like, okay, so how do you give this, or, what does it do, or, just to make sure the patient can tolerate it, because the surgeon, he's doing his thing. He just know that he want the drug because he feel like it's gonna do this. All patients can't handle everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, if my patient got a heart condition, and I'm sure the surgeon knows that, but in the moment they're thinking about, like, okay, this is pertaining to my case. So, you have to be the one to be in charge of those things. So, I want to keep, maybe like maybe like a chapter a day kind of thing, just to keep me on top of my game. Like, I could benefit from that as well. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to do, which, like I said, I'm going to make a vision board. I may start it tonight. I'm not going to start it on the vlog, because that's going to be a me and me thing, It's going to be me and me. But yeah, I may start it tonight. I may start it tomorrow, whatever. I also wanted to wrap my Christmas presents, but I don't think that's going to happen. It probably ain't. Not tonight. But yeah, as far as the anesthesia goes, that's kind of like in my techniques and my what do you say? Comfortability. I don't know. I be struggling. But yeah, that's where I am with it. I still like all my docs. I still like all the AAs I work with. I'm starting to get to know, like, the nurses and everything, which I know it's been 4 months. So y'all like, you don't know the nurses yet. It's a lot more of them than it is of us, okay? So, but I'm starting to know them. We be going out together and stuff, and they really are a fun group. Like, I like hanging out with them. We just all went to a bar and everything. We had a good time, sang karaoke. Your girl had a few drinks. Austin had a few drinks. And I'm going to tell you, me and Austin can't sing, but we was singing that night, okay? And I don't know. I love that. I love that I'm, like, getting out and meeting the people I work with, and, I don't know. It's just, it's really a good time. So, yeah. I've really been enjoying it. It is a little bit of drama at work, not so much as, like, between, like, the AAs or, like, the physicians or anything. It's a little bit of drama as far as, like, scheduling goes. So there's a little bit of pushback about scheduling. There's a little bit of pushback about salary. And I'm really hoping we find a solution for that, because I'd rather stay where I'm at and make it work and make it a better place than go somewhere else, go somewhere else. I mean, I can make bukus of money somewhere else, bukus. all of it. Okay, I can make a lot more money somewhere else, but it's rare that you find a place where you actually get along with everybody and the cases don't make you want to, like, you know, scratch your eyes out every day. So I'd rather make it work where I'm at, you know, and if we can't make it work, that's gonna be something different. Then, you know, keep it pushing, you know. So there's a little bit of round, you know, about that. But that's work right now. That's kind of like my work update. But yeah, so maybe I'll kind of keep y'all updated on that. You know, we'll see what's gonna happen, and yeah, I guess I'll talk to y'all at some point later next week. I don't know. We just gonna let it do what it's gonna do.